guys, welcome back to another video in the series of Unit 1 Outcome 1. And this one, actually 2 key knowledge dot points. This is the first time I think we're doing that in this course. Some of the key knowledge dot points are so closely related that we just create one video to cover them both. So this one is all about business concept development. So here is our snapshot of the study design for Outcome 1. And you can see, so this is what this video is about here, the 5th and 6th key knowledge dot points. But if you look at those, it's all about business concept development. So we just kind of treat them as one key knowledge dot point for intents and purposes. So that is what we're going to be looking at here today, business concept development. So first off, what do we mean by business concept? A business concept is basically a brief outline of your business idea. Okay, this is where everything starts. It includes, think about what it is you're going to be selling and how you're going to be selling it. What is it about your business that is going to give it a competitive advantage against all the other businesses that might be doing something similar or not out there? Okay, so it's the starting point. Starting point of setting up a business. Okay, it's the initial idea, whether that idea is a brand new product or service or an extension or an innovation or a tweaking of an existing product or service, doesn't matter. This is your idea. This is your concept. This is the starting point of everything. Okay. So the questions you're asking yourself at this stage is, what is it that I'm going to sell? How am I going to sell it? How am I going to beat my competitors? So these are the things that you're starting to think about, coming up with answers to at this stage of your business concept development. And then once you have some answers to those questions, what you want to do is protect your business concept. Before you go down the track of investing lots of time and money into this business concept, you want to make sure that other people are not easily able to copy it. And the way you do that is by taking out some legal protections of some of the stuff associated with your business concept at this very early stage, so that you're not wasting time and money down the track by putting all this effort in, investing all this money in for someone to kind of jump over and steal some of your ideas effectively. So that's what we're going to talk about here, protecting our business concept. So basically, legally, you can protect specific parts of your business if they are considered to be intellectual property. Intellectual property is defined as being an original creation of the mind that can be legally owned. So what we're going to talk about here, there's lots of different aspects of the business that we could do this with, and there's 4 types of protections that I'm going to talk about here that you want to have a bit of an understanding of and be able to explain when you get to the SAC. Okay, so various ways, there's 4 ways that we can do this. And the first one is via a trademark. Okay, so a trademark is simply legal protection of a name, of a symbol, of a color or a combination of colors, a slogan, a jingle, all that kind of stuff. Okay, and it's used to protect an image or a look that you are trying to create for your business to differentiate it from all the others and make it stand out. Okay, so you can trademark a word or a name. So this example here, okay, we've got Nestle. This is just a diagram, just identifying some of the brands, certainly not all of them, that Nestle own. So the word or the name Nestle in and of itself would be trademarked and they would own that. But then they would also own the trademark to the name L'Oreal, Garnier, Vichy, Wonka, and all of those others that you see there in front of you. Some of them you'll be familiar with, probably not all of them. But yeah, Nestle would own the trademark so that no other business other than them can use those names for their businesses. Slogans, the fresh food people, because you're worth it, have a break, have a Kit Kat, and many others I'm sure you could come up with. Again, you can trademark. So if you come up with this idea, you can trademark that slogan so that no other business can use that slogan. Or even potentially a slogan that you consider to be too similar. There's been lots of cases in the past where business have come with a slogan that another business, an existing business, said, "Oh, that's too similar to ours," and then you go to court and fight it out, basically. But yeah, you can trademark a slogan. Images, obviously, logos. You recognise those logos there. Those also have been trademarked so that other businesses cannot use those identifying marks on any of their products or their branding or their advertising or anything else. So again, Apple owns the Apple, Nike owns the tick, so on and so forth. Word or image combination trademark. So this is, a combination of the name and the logo. So you can see their Adidas there and the Puma there. So again, they would trademark the logo, but they would also trademark the name and then the combination of the two to be used together. Characters, mascots also. So Ronald McDonald, I actually don't think he's used anymore, but he certainly was for many decades. I don't know if maybe people thought it was creepy or something or a bit weird. I don't know, but I don't think they use Ronald McDonald. But Ronald McDonald would have been trademarked when in use by Maccas. Colour trademarks. Cadbury, the Cadbury purple, they actually trademarked that colour. And they actually got into a big legal dispute which lasted years with Darrell Lea, also a chocolate manufacturer, because they also used purple. And Darrell Lea and Cadbury ended up arguing out in court about who basically owned the colour purple. BP, the BP green that you see there, again, they've trademarked that colour. And actually, again, they came into some legal wranglings with Woolworths at one stage over who could use that green. If you think about it, that green is very similar to Woolworths. So again, that's something that ended up going to the court because BP said, we own that colour green. Woolworths said you didn't. And anyway, it had to come down to a judge to decide. Any of you are familiar with Tiffany jewellery? Fairly expensive jewellery. That colour blue that you see there, I'm not sure what you'd call that. It's like a turquoise to me, but I don't know if there's an actual name for it. But as soon as I see that colour blue, even without a Tiffany logo, it immediately makes me think of Tiffany. It's a very specific colour, and I've just got that immediate association with Tiffany, even if I don't see jewellery or the Tiffany branding on it. Just that colour is a very strong association. Shapes and packaging. Okay, the Toblerone, the triangular cross section, the shape of the Coca-Cola bottle was trademarked. The shape of the toilet duck, the shape of the lint teddy. Again, all of these things have been trademarked so that no other businesses can copy them. Sounds trademarks. So this would be, I don't know if you're familiar with the O'Brien jingle. So this would be for maybe jingles that are used on TV and radio ads. There's a very specific O'Brien jingle that they used. And Intel, the 5-note audio progression that you associate with the Intel sound. D flat, D flat, G flat, D flat, and A flat. That was actually trademarked by them many, many years ago. So again, that no other tech business or any other business, doesn't tech or otherwise, can use that or a similar jingle. Okay, second type of protection is what we call a patent or a patent. Say it either way, doesn't really matter. So a patent is a license that provides a business with exclusive rights to the use of a certain device, a method, or a process. So basically what we're talking about here is creating a competitive advantage for your business concept by protecting new inventions or new innovations. Okay. Here's just an example or a bit of a demonstration of how commonly this happens. So this is a little chart showing companies with the most US patents. This will be patents taken out purely in the US. And bear in mind, if you're creating a product or a service that is going to be sold in multiple countries, you would actually need to take out a patent application in each of those countries. So it only applies to the specific country that you take the application out for. So you can see that IBM took out over 9,000 patents in 2020. Samsung, 6,400. so on and so forth. Apple, just under 3,000. So what that's telling you is that every time, and obviously if you think about Apple, right, nearly 3,000 patents they took out in a single year. Obviously that's not a patent for the iPhone or for the iPad or whatever the new version was in that year. That is for every time they develop either a tiny aspect of that product or even a process that is used to create it. So basically, every time that Apple does anything that is new or innovative, they'll take a patent out on either that process or that product or part product, again, to stop competitors copying that. So hopefully that makes some sense. Protection 3 is a copyright. So this is to do with the arts, writing, art, sounds, film, photographs, that sort of thing. And this is where a business can take legal action if any of their copyrighted material is used by another entity. So when you're running a business, you can't just go play whatever music you want, because then you could be sued for copyright. You need to go through a proper process. So yeah, copyright is to do with the arts, quite a specific one. So it's not going to apply to many businesses, but if you're involved in that sort of stuff, that could be a really key one for you. Domain name, this is probably going to apply to everybody these days. This is all about protecting your unique website address. You'll appreciate the fact that it's really important that pretty much every business now has a website, and you want your website name to reflect the business. So once you've come up with a name for your business, you want to register a unique website address for your business before you even go any further, so that making sure that you can use it and nobody else can use it in the future. And this is very easy to do. There's lots of different ways to actually do this. If you just Googled buy or protect a domain name, you can go through. There's various companies that do it, and you just check to see if the name is available, and if it is, you can pay a fee and you've got that registered to yourself and nobody else can use that. Now, the second part of all this was relationship between business concept development and business opportunity. Okay, going back to the study design, that was one of the specific key knowledge dot points. Okay, so what we're going to talk about here is business concept development is the process that is followed once a business opportunity has been identified. So we've got business concept development and business opportunity. So we start with a business opportunity, and then we then develop that business concept, and then we protect it. So this is basically the relationship. This is the flow. So starting with an opportunity, we then develop it, and then we go through the process of protecting any aspects that we think need protecting via the means that we just talked about. Okay, so that's a relationship between opportunity and concept development. Opportunity comes first, and that turns into a process of developing a business concept. It's as simple as that. And that is it for that key knowledge dot point, guys. So I will see you in the next video. Cheers for now.